Hi everyone, Tyler Fleming with New Home Nation. And today I'm on a different part of the mountain over here at Lake Las Vegas. So if you've ever watched me before, you know that I've done a lot of tours on communities on the North Shore. I've done some stuff on the South Shore. I've done the actual sports club, which is on the south side of Lake Las Vegas. But today I'm in a real cool spot. This is on the mountain past South Shore. So the other mountain to where all the views here are kind of facing north rather than south. So this is really cool. In fact, it's even kind of hard to find it over here. Today I'm at a community called Lago del Sol by Lennar. This is a cool gated community. So come with me, let's go take a look. These are phenomenal. I'm really excited to show you these. Before you watch this next video, I just want to point out one item. If you really decide that you're interested in the home that you see or other homes that I show in my videos, do me a favor, call me first. I want to make sure that I can represent you. And in a lot of cases, especially with new home builders, if you walk in the door or contact them yourself, then they won't pay me. So why would you give up on the benefit of me representing you, negotiating on your behalf, taking care of you, making sure you get the best deal, the best incentives, the best negotiation? Why would you give that up when someone else is going to pay the tab? And that's what happens exactly. If you walk in that door, contact them without me first, you're going to give up that ability. Okay, I'm right outside the Antoinette here, which is one of the models over here that we're going to take a look at in this brand new Lennar community. What's really cool though, is I got to show you what's directly behind me. We're at the end of this cul-de-sac street here in front of the models, which of course they do a very good job of picking out amazing locations in the community to build the models. But I just want to show you this view behind me. This is really cool and something I've never really seen from the North Shore. Let me show you this. So right now we're going to take a look at the Antoinette, and this is an amazing home, 3-car garage, paver stones, 2,668 square feet. It's actually amazing, and I can't wait to show it to you. Let's go take a look inside. Very cool entryway. A long entrance, which is really nice, and then the very open space. Look at this. This is amazing. We have an amazing kitchen over here. Great cabinets with a very modern look. This is phenomenal. Waterfall edge on the island. And if you look, this is truly a true great room type of style, although you have it separated where you have kind of living room next to the family room. So you definitely could call it a great room. You could set this up in a number of different ways. And you even have an eat-in kitchen over here, which is actually pretty large. So this is a great use of space, and this feels very open. And let's go take a look back through here, and I think we're going to walk into the primary suite. So here we walk into the primary. This is a good sized primary suite here. I like this. Lots of light. There's quite a few windows. And a nice entrance there to the primary suite. Nice high opening. So as we go in here, you'll see this is also very open. So you have the dual vanities, quartz countertops, nice mirrors. And on the other side, you have a whole nother vanity, which is really cool. Lots of space in here for sure. You have what they would call a 5-piece, which means a separate tub, separate shower space, and the separate vanities. So that's 4. And then you have the water closet, so that's of course 5. And speaking of closets, let's go back and look at the primary. This is a huge closet. It's probably hard to tell from this angle, but you could really make something very neat in here. And you could do some sort of a custom closet, make this gorgeous. Oh, right here, which is really cool, is they added a stackable laundry washer dryer right inside of the primary suite. This is a nice feature. In fact, a lot of times you'll see where a lot of the builders I've toured recently, you can connect to the laundry room, which is neat, but this is a whole nother level, actually having the washer and dryer right in your closet. That's actually really cool. I like this. I think it'd be something people would really like and really find convenient. Let's go take a look at the rest of the home here. Again, a good size home. This is very private from the rest of the bedrooms, which is nice. So having the primary off to the side is very cool indeed. There's again that kitchen. I just can't stop looking how amazing that kitchen is. Okay, let's take a look back here at some of the other bedrooms. So first of all, back by the front entry door, we have a bedroom in here. And this is a nice space. Lots of light, and it's, again, very separated from the primary suite. And I like this space. And basically you have a Jack and Jill type concept here to where people are able to share. There's the bathroom. There is the walk-in closet. Here's the Jack and Jill I just mentioned. So you have connection here to where you have dual vanities. Okay. Water closet / tub area, which is separate, which is nice. And then you go into yet another bedroom here. So kind of a nice space. And remember, Lennar is usually what they call EI, which is their name for meaning everything included. As we step back here, there's a huge laundry room off of the garage. I wasn't expecting this large of a laundry room. This is actually huge. You could do some kind of custom built-ins here that would be really nice as well. There you have some electronics closet behind the door, which goes out to the 3-car garage, which is locked in this particular show home. And if we go over here, we see they have it set up as a public restroom, but this is actually the powder room. And this is a nice space. And so if we really just give an overall review, this home is phenomenal. The kitchen is absolutely stunning. The island is huge. I love it. They even have cabinets underneath the island on this side, assuming that's one of the ways in which you could personalize this home. But if you look at this, this is actually amazing. And nice cabinets, nice tall cabinets, nice appliances in this home. Amazing stainless sink. Here they're showing a reverse osmosis. And we're talking GE appliances, and these are definitely nice. And lots of space, lots of counter space for these counters. And I believe this is a quartz, if I'm not mistaken. This is a quartz, which is nice because it's not going to stain like the natural stones would. And then here's a nice large pantry as well. So you have a really good sized pantry in this home. So this is really nice. I actually like this door. They have a detailed door here that goes into the pantry. Instead of just flat panel, they still have some detail on it, which I think is kind of nice. Kind of a nice spin on it. A lot of times now the modern has taken everything, all the detail away, and everything is so square and straight. And so it's just kind of a nice little touch on it. And if we look out here at the backyard, we see an amazing situation that's set up. And this is locked, but I can just kind of give you an idea here. They obviously are showing you some of the ways you could design your backyard. Here they did a paver stone with a little pergola. You have a covered patio, so you have all kinds of shade from the sun, which is nice. Truly have that indoor-outdoor living by opening this door up and taking full advantage of that backyard. So guys, this is a great space. Let's go take a look at the next home. So you'll see this patio, and I don't know if this is just on this exterior. This might be the sea elevation, so to speak. I don't know that for sure. We'll have to take a look at the floor plans. But this is so cool. You don't see this very often anymore, and that is a front patio. We actually have a covered front patio to go outside. In this case, you're seeing some amazing views across the street here, as you can see. But it's really cool that you just have somewhere over here to sit instead of just in the back of the home, which is so common anymore. Let's go and take a look at this one. Okay, so here we are going inside of the oven, and let's check it out. So this is amazing. Look how gorgeous this looks. Again, I like this new kind of style I'm seeing even from a couple different builders, is the really long entrances from here. So it just makes the homes feel so large. This home is just over 2,400 square feet, but it gives you this large, voluminous feeling right when you walk in. And so let's go forward here straight in towards the great room kitchen area. And this is stunning. Look at this. So we have a really nice great room area combined with a dining. So it's kind of your dining and great room together. Of course, you could set this up however you want, however you see fit, but lots of space to do so. And so you'll notice over here in the back, you truly have that indoor-outdoor living type of a concept, just depending how you want to set things up. Lots of windows in here, lots of light in this whole area, and you have a very open area to your kitchen. And so this is a gorgeous kitchen area. It looks like we have all sorts of different finishes in here versus that last plan, so it really shows off some different things you can do. Here we see some quartz countertops on this amazing island, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. We're showing cabinets underneath the island again for storage on this side of the island, which is pretty unique and kind of a nice little feature. And if you look at the cabinets over here, these are tall 48-inch cabinets with a nice kind of a crown molding, although a very modern spin on the crown molding, all the way to the ceiling. So I see a great big room here, a true entertainer's dream, you could say this home is. Let's go take a look back here and see what else we run into. So first thing I see over here is a nice big laundry, and this is a huge laundry room. It's amazing. If you look at all these cabinets here, you're adding some of the cabinets in here, of course, but it's something you can really personalize when you meet with the designers and those sort of things. If you look at what's really neat is you have a primary, again, that's very private from the other rooms. So as you walk in the primary here, you see a nice big room, lots of space. You can see that's obviously a king bed, all kinds of space here. There's lots of light, and this is really nice. Lots of space in here for sure. It's a rather big room and lots of light. There's nice windows. And then obviously this leads into the primary bath. So we go into the primary, and the first thing you notice is we have water closet to the right, and we have all kinds of cabinets here with dual vanities. This floor is just stunning. I think this is porcelain, most likely. And if we look over here, we see a really nice long mirror vanity section, which is huge, and a separate shower and tub. So it's kind of that 5-piece setup we were talking about earlier. And then you walk into the closet, and you have a huge closet space here. This is actually rather large. And of course, you could do built-ins all the way to the ceiling. And it looks to me like we have 9-foot ceilings in this home. So this is actually a pretty impressive area. And like the last plan, it's kind of nice because it's separated from the bedrooms. Okay, let's take a look at the pantry. So if we look over here to the left, there's the pantry, and it's a good sized room. This is bigger than a lot of pantries I've seen in homes that are 7,000 to 8,000 square feet even. This is very large. And it obviously comes with these shelves you see here, but you could customize this later and have built-ins added all the way to the ceiling if you chose. But there's lots of space in there for sure. And if we head back over here, we can't miss the RV garage. So let's walk into the RV garage. So this is absolutely huge. Look at the size of this garage. I cannot believe this. This is a huge selling point. And if you look at the size of this garage door, this is massive. The ceilings in here, I don't have the exact ceiling height. I'm going to guess this is probably about 16 to 18 feet high. Probably 16, but I could be wrong. Definitely all kinds of space. Over here you see that there is a soft water plumbing, so you can add a water softener. You have the tankless water heater as well. And then in this room, you actually see some windows. So look at those windows here, bring some light in. This room is huge, guys. I can't stress enough until you see it in person. This is huge. You could definitely fit an RV, or you could probably fit about 4 cars in here. So I can't say for sure how many would fit in here, but this is absolutely huge. If you're a person that loves cars, or you're into RVs or sports, or have all kinds of toys or whatever, this might be the perfect home for you. Let's go take a look at the rest. So as we walk through this area here, and we go over and we see these bedrooms that are kind of guest bedrooms at the front of the home again, so separated from the back. And I love this bedroom. Lots of light in the front, and this is kind of a nice little setup in here. And you'll see that this ties conveniently into the next room, which is the guest bathroom, the ensuite. So this is ensuite. Nice flooring again that matches the primary suite. A nice vanity there, and you go into a good-sized closet. There's a good sized closet there, and you can obviously again do your own built-ins later and make it however you want. Lots of space for sure. And then if we come back here, we notice that this is a tub shower combo. And So this is the secondary part of this room, which actually it truly is a Jack and Jill bathroom. And what's nice about this for guests or kids or whoever you have staying here, that each section has their own vanity and each section has access then to the bath, shower, and behind a separate door. So it really gives you that privacy. And if we walk into this next bedroom, you'll notice lots of space in here as well. They're not huge rooms, but they're guest rooms, right? And so they're nice. They have walk-in closets. So there you get an idea here of the walk-in closet. Good size space. And again, they're nice rooms, good size rooms for what they're made for, which is kind of a guest room, or you could make it an office and those sorts of things. And we have a powder room over here to the left. So this is nice too, because this is nice close access. So your guests could even use the powder room when they're staying in that particular bedroom. And so that's a nice space. And it's, of course, away from the kitchen. So this home is awesome, guys. I'm really impressed by what I saw when it comes to the RV garage. If you're into that kind of thing, this one does not disappoint. It's very cool. You don't see a lot of these anywhere anymore, especially in Las Vegas. The yard sizes in this city are really restricted. And so this is a brilliant design Lennar's come up with. I know a lot of people have bought these on the north side of Lake Las Vegas, and everyone I've talked to is really impressed by the garage. So if that's your kind of thing you like, this is definitely something to check out. So let's go take a look at the last plan and see what you think. Here we go. Okay, everyone, I am standing in front of the first model. I went in these backwards, and you can see where they've obviously made part of this garage space a sales office, which is kind of normal in the business. But in this case, we don't have to mess around with that because we're able to go and use this technology Lennar uses where we can register ourselves and get us inside the home. So let's go take a look at this last plan and see what you think. Okay, so we have a nice tall 8-foot front door here, and let's open it up. And yeah, this is amazing again. Once again, we have this amazing distance from the front all the way through the back of the home, and it really gives you some nice space here. It makes the home feel very spacious. As we walk in, the first thing we see is this really nice kitchen area. And so this is beautiful. They used a little different spin here. I think this is also some sort of a quartz. And they used white cabinets here, and it looks gorgeous. Nice tall cabinets. Same concept with the island, nice large island. You have the cabinets here that are on the front of the island too, so you have space behind here. Let me show you what I mean by that. This is pretty rare. We actually see cabinets under the front of the island. Usually it's going to be drywall with most builders. So that's kind of nice. This is a nice big great room area. If we kind of circle around here and we take a look, this is absolutely beautiful, very fresh looking, very modern, and just really gorgeous, in fact. And lots of space. Again, this is a great room area, so you have definitely room for dining over here. You see how it exits out into a nice backyard, kind of gives you that true indoor-outdoor feel. You could really do something in the back that ties in very nicely with this. But this is a great home to entertain as well. And it looks like we have our primary suite off to the side here. So let's go take a look at this and see how it looks. Here we go. So as we walk into the primary suite, good size room again, large king size bed. If you look, it's just a really good size, lots of space. Nice light in here through the great big window, and this is just a big room. Look at the size of this room. There's lots of space here. I mean, they even have a separate dresser as well as a couch, so kind of a little retreat area. So it's actually kind of nice. And let's take a look at the primary suite. As we walk in here, this is nice, beautiful tile everywhere we look. And this is a dual vanity again. Water closet to the left, and then a separate shower bath area. And then we walk in, this is a huge closet. Look at the size of this closet. This is absolutely huge. There's no shortage here of space and how you can set this up. Definitely room to add any sort of built-in that you might want to do in there to really spruce it up. But this is really nice. And let's go check out the rest of the home. Obviously, there are going to be some guest bedrooms somewhere up front here that are separated. Again, Lennar's done a great job in this series because they've kept the bedrooms far apart from each other, which is what a lot of people like. So if we go back here, we look, this is actually the laundry room. Goes out to the garage, which is locked in this particular model. This would be taking you into what they're calling the home within a home. So this is what they call a next-gen suite. So this is really cool here because it's like its own little apartment. And these are really, that's actually a trademarked name that Lennar has, this next gen. And so they use that term as it relates to this other living quarters. And it's pretty nice because it has its own entry here on the side. They have the door locked where I can't get out there, but that's its own entryway. So if you had someone else living with you, this is kind of the future of a multi-generation situation where they have their own living space, their own kitchenette. We see a microwave and a sink over here and a nice space. And as we go over to the side here, we see which would be the bedroom, or in this case, an office, and its own bathroom. So it has its own full bathroom. Turn the light on there so we can get a better look. And it's nice as well. So this is really cool. And what a lot of people like about a space like this is there's flexibility. If you have someone that lives with you, let's say a teenager that's growing up, this is perfect. They start to have their own independence and freedom, but yet they're still attached to come to eat dinner at the dinner table. On the other side of it, you could use this as an office, kind of a work at home type situation. And if you rarely saw, I can't say you could have clients all the time over here necessarily if the HOA would allow that, but in essence, if you had a client visit you from time to time, they could come in through your side door and not come through your front door of your living home. So this way it's kind of a private space. So this is set up really nice. I love this next gen concept. And let's go on and look at the actual bedrooms in this home on the other side and see what we have. So this is a good size. We walk all the way to the front here. And again, you're going to see the bedrooms are very separated from the living space. So these are both guest rooms. And if you look, we have a nice little setup. These are smaller rooms here. Good sized closets, good sized rooms. I would say, they have it set up like it would be a young boy living in this room or a girl or what have you. But you have smaller rooms, but yet you have a bathroom that shares in the middle, not a Jack and Jill, but kind of similar to that concept. And then over here, you have a whole nother bedroom with a similar sized closet. So I think what really sets this home apart is the fact that you can do the next gen suite. That really makes it cool. Okay, and one of the most important parts to show you in this community, and I don't have the actual map, or there's no one here to show me which home sites are available at the time, but we can definitely find that online. But one thing that's amazing that I forgot to mention is the home sites are unbelievable. Look at some of these views. So I'm actually on a home site right here. And so the way they've tiered all these home sites, it's absolutely amazing. And these are big single-story plans, and so obviously they do take a lot of the home site. But what's really neat is that you're going to have view fencing in the back. And look at some of these views. If you look behind me here, this is the most panoramic view I've ever seen. This is beautiful. I mean, this looks like something on a postcard. Let me give you a little closer look. Okay, everyone, that's the end of our tour. I'm only going to tour 3 show homes or models over here by Lennar. I didn't realize there's 3 more across the street, but this gives you a good sampling of what you have. So I think that the takeaways are this is an amazing community. You have some really good prices over here. You're on an amazing part of Lake Las Vegas, which is kind of a hidden gem over here. This is not something I've worked out here for over 5 years, and I never really saw this until about a year ago. This is all really new and kind of cool over here. I really recommend you call me at 702-530-9850. Again, 702-530-9850. And let's talk about how I can represent you in buying one of these homes. I'd like to show you around, tell you everything about it. We can talk about the details from beginning to when you get the keys. So thanks so much for watching. Please do me a favor and follow me down below. I really appreciate that. Thank you and have a great day.